Minnesota Vikings first-round pick center Garrett Bradbury had a rookie season with two very distinct parts. It was the first 4 games of the season, and then everything else. Right, so there's two very big movements for the Grim Reacher as a rook. And finished the year with great play and momentum heading into year 2. The future looks bright, but there's a certain segment of the fan base that's already ready to write him off. It's like, well, if you look at his PFF score, it was worse than Pat Elflein as a rookie. Woo! Sure. Okay. So here's an example. So say you have an MMA fight and you have a fighter who lost around 10-9, right? Dumb scoring system. Yeah, they took it from boxing. That's a whole nother can of worms, whatever. But all right, so fighter A, he got knocked down at the beginning of the round, got tore up for the first minute, got starched a little bit. It's like, oh, stop the fight, throw the towel, that whole thing, right? But say he had a solid final 4 minutes of the round, traded a little bit. Maybe he's a jiu-jitsu player, maybe got to the ground, maybe established mount, maybe did all those things, right? So even though fighter A lost the round, still 10-9, he had a really nice comeback after a pretty rough start. Fighter B, who also lost 10-9, he consistently got tore up for 5 minutes and had 0 moments of positive momentum. Frankly, they probably should stop the fight in between rounds, right? So even though both fighters both lost the round 10-9, which fighter would you bet on for round 2? I mean, obviously it's going to be fighter A. Garrett Bradbury is fighter A, and anyone who tries to make the case that he's fighter B is either a moron or being intentionally intellectually dishonest, or probably both. It's very commonplace nowadays. But I believe in the Grim Reacher year 2. You should as well. So background on Garrett Bradbury. You already know. 6'2" and 7/8. That 7/8 is very important. 306 pounds. Was a redshirt senior coming out of NC State. Former tight end. Vikings just have something about former tight ends. So Brian O'Neill was a former tight end. Garrett Bradbury was a tight end coming in. That's why they should get Jason Peters, who was a tight end at Arkansas. It was crazy. But 2018 Remington Trophy winner, as well as first-team All-ACC, first-team All-American, all the accolades, everything like that. Plus, we forget, Combine, an absolute physical freak. Are you kidding me? This is just an insane spark score. I mean, just or spider chart, whatever. You already know. It's just wow. Just quick, athletic, lateral movement, making calls at the line of scrimmage. You love seeing that. Was playing in a pro-style system at NC State. Check all the boxes. Amazing at making reach blocks, getting on the perimeter, leading ways on screens and outside runs. And the fan base is fired up. So many years of just atrocious offensive line play. And then you would think that taking an interior offensive lineman, 18 overall, would be like, meh. No, it was the sexiest pick ever for this fan base. It was just great. But of course, there are trade-offs because, interior offensive linemen are not Superman. So if you have a guy a little bit undersized for the position in the modern game, great movement skills, generally is going to have a little bit less strength. So the concern about him against man-sized nose tackles, against elite defensive interior linemen, there are going to be some trade-offs, right? And yes, in a vacuum, there were definitely some trade-offs. Bradbury, 58.0 overall PFF grade as a rookie in the regular season. Pat Elflein was a 66.1 in 2017, playing the pivot. 5th most pressures allowed in the regular season for a center last year with 26, tied for 3rd most penalized in the league with 8. And his 38.7 PFF pass blocking grade was the lowest qualifying center in the history of Pro Football Focus. I fully understand that. Fully understand that. So in a vacuum, he stunk. There's no two ways around it. And I could see why fans would want to give up on him if that was the case all the way around. If he consistently struggled week in, week out, week ever. And the first 4 weeks, it was tough. It really was tough to watch. So first off, welcome to the NFL. You're an undersized center. And in your first 4 weeks, you have Atlanta, Grady Jarrett. You have Green Bay, Kenny Clark, which Kenny Clark destroyed worlds in Week 16 again, but whatever. With Zadarius Smith, but no. Oakland, Mo Hurst, and P.J. Hall ain't no slouches. And Chicago, no Akeem Hicks, but Cheeseburger Eddie Goldman also destroyed worlds that game. So the first 4 weeks, not great. Not great. Gave up 11 pressures and a sack on 122 pass blocking reps. And also versus the versus the Falcons, Packers, and Bears, he recorded PFF pass blocking grades of 0, 32.7, and 36.6 respectively. So not great. Not ideal way to start things off. And if Bradbury had cut and paste those first 4 weeks through the final three quarters of the season and the playoffs, yes, I would be voicing the similar concerns as some of the fan base. But let's be honest here. From week 5 on, including the playoffs, he was great. He was really, really good. It's almost like getting the butterflies out of the way, getting the welcome out to the NFL out of the way, and you're allowed to actually improve from week to week. It's just so crazy. So Garrett Bradbury from week 5 on, minus the week 16 Packers meltdown where nobody played well, by the way. 435 pass blocking snaps, 0 sacks allowed, and only 12 pressures. And plus, during that time, he recorded a PFF run blocking grade of 72.3. So pretty damn stout and solid all the way around. So minus weeks 1 through 4 and week 16 against Green Bay. Yeah, I know this is sort of cherry picking. This is sort of adjusting the stats to tell the story that you want to, but it's still 13 games, still a nice sample size. Garrett Bradbury was the 12th highest grade center in the NFL. You'll take that as a rookie. Absolutely. And beyond grades, just the eye test showed that he was much better out there, much more confident, making better line calls, not so much overpowered at the point of attack, especially when head up against nose tackles. It was great to see. So got the growing pains out of the way. Strength, again, as we said ad nauseum, is the easiest thing to add in the NFL. It's so easy once you get into a professional weight and nutrition program. Just add on that weight and that size. Get in the gym. Getting jerked. And he had positive momentum towards the end of the year last year, and he's in a scheme that's tailor-fit to his abilities. So I don't understand the hate. Like, I don't see it. How do you not look at how do you look at Garrett Bradbury and not come away with anything except for hope and optimism? I just don't understand that. And also, you have a future superstar there. If you're ready to give up on him after a year with all the factors involved, I mean, you deserve what you get. I mean, you should have 5 Pat Elflines on your offensive line. That's exactly what you should have. So keep hope alive, Garrett Bradbury. I think he's ready to go boom in year 2. All right, your thoughts, Garrett Bradbury, the Grim Reacher, year 2. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Pull us up in the Venmo. Plus give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.